Alright, hey everybody, so welcome to my quick video on how to DPS with any class, whether you're doing raids, Mythic Plus, or PvP. The fundamentals are basically the same, with a few differences here or there depending on the specific thing you're doing. So, number one, you need to get yourself educated in different ways. There are a few different websites that you should get familiar with. Number one is Wowhead. This will give you a lot of information about fights, about your class. If you actually come up here and into the classes part and click, whatever thing you're trying to, learn how to do, you can go to different parts of the guide and it'll tell you pretty much anything you would ever want to know based on, this is really just their opinions for the most part, but a lot of this has some theory crafting behind it and it's good information. But you can find out anything from what talents to use to what essences to use, and it's all really good stuff. The other thing you're going to want to get is something similar to AskMrRobot or raid bots. These will help you optimize your gear and find upgrades. So if you don't want to necessarily get super min-max or spend a lot of time figuring out what exactly you want to get, these are good options for how to simulate your character and figure out what gear is going to be best. So in order to use something like AskMrRobot, you need to first get the add-on. So you download the add-on, get it installed, and you'll get a nice little icon up here on your minimap, and that'll give you this screen where you can export what your character has on them. And basically you just copy that. From there, you can open up Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot, I will give you as a pre-warning, it does cost money if you are, if you use it a lot. You can do it for free in some ways, but I personally think it's worth the $12 a year. Not really a huge amount of money in my opinion for what you get out of it. Plus I use it fairly frequently. But what you do is come up here, click import add-on, and then it'll pull in your character. Then you can hit best in bags. And what that'll do is pretty much look through your bags and find everything that you've got, and it'll let you pick some different options here. And you can use that to essentially build your character however you want. You can even set like a maximum corruption, which less than 39 is pretty good for me. I'm not a big fan of going any higher than that. And you can choose whether you want to do single target or multi-target. I'm going to go with single target for this instance, set my strategy to that, and then I'm going to do find best in bags. Alright, so from here it's now going to tell me exactly what I should use and what I need to do to make everything better. You can also force certain things to do, basically whatever. So once you have this optimized, this is basically telling you exactly what you should do and what it thinks is best. If you don't want to do some things, like for example, I don't want to use the pocket-sized, whatever the hell, I can use the Ritual Feather of Ungak or whatever. I'm not going to use that. Instead, I'm going to just go with what it tells me. Another nice thing is it will tell you specifically what Azurite essences to use if you're not already using what it's suggesting, which is good. And then you can just do the send to add-on button and then copy this. If you're using the pawn add-on, it also has an import string to make it so that it tries to let your pawn add-on use the values it suggests. But then what you'll do is come in here to gear, go to import, paste the string in. Once you've got that string in there, you can hit the activate unholy spec and equip the gear, and it'll put all the stuff on you and activate that spec if it's not already the active one. And that's pretty much it. From there, it's just a matter of getting your equipment the way it wants it. In this case, it wanted me to change this specific Azurite. What's that Azurite trait? It wants me to change that to that and change these to those. If everything is how it's supposed to be, you will get E in both of these columns, which is nice. But anyway, once you have that done, the next thing you want to do is you want to get an add-on that will help you with your max DPS rotation. Essentially just a rotation helper. So there are a few different versions of those. The one that I'm going to show you how to use today is called MaxDPS rotation, or MaxDPS. If you find that, it's in the curse, same place. You need to get the MaxDPS add-on itself, as well as the specific plugin for your character. I'm going to use Death Knight, obviously, because I'm on my Death Knight. And from there, the add-on will tell you essentially everything you need to do. You'll start to see circles down here once I reload my add-ons. You'll start to see circles that will essentially tell me what buttons I need to be pressing and what I need to do to really make a difference here. Now, if this were an enemy target as opposed to yellow, there would already be circles here, but it's not. So we'll just start and you'll see the circles. So usually wants you to open up with, like, for my case, Outbreak. So there we go, and now you'll see the circles coming out. Wants me to use the cooldowns that it has there in the green circles. The white circles is the other things it wants me to use. And you basically just follow the rotation that's telling you. And as things change with the situation, it will in fact tell you to do different things. And you just follow what it says. And as you can see, I'm just hitting like 70k, and I'm just pressing the buttons that it's telling me to press. And it's doing a really good job of telling me exactly what to do. And I don't have fantastic gear. Now clearly I popped all my cooldowns, so I'm going to have a good, huge burst of damage, but that's a good burst, honestly. So once I settle down to the rotation, the damage will start going down to, you know, the average that I do, which probably somewhere around 40 to 50. So not bad. It's a very, very good tool, and it's a great way if you have, especially if you have a lot of alts, it will definitely help you out, because I know I can't remember all the nuances of every rotation that I have. So it's for sure a very useful add-on, and it will remind you to use cooldowns, because I know I forget that all the time because I'll get so enamored in moving around or using whatever I'm doing. It's so helpful, and it's not just for tank or for DPS. It also is helpful for tanking. It does the same stuff. So it's a great add-on. If you use that in conjunction with the simulator, you're going to have a great time improving your DPS, and you'll be able to, you know, do your movement without having to focus so much on what buttons you're supposed to be pushing, and it'll help you out a lot. It'll save you a lot of time in the long run. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any questions or anything you want to know more about, please put that down in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you. And thanks again. Until the next video, try not to die.